Yeah, okay, guys. Once again, good afternoon. So in the last session, we have discussed about arrays and functions, and we have deals with some examples, and we have gone through with the different types of functions like arguments, void functions, and statistical functions. So all those topics I have modified the previous student management system. Let's go on through with that. So this is the latest version of student management systems with I added with some features like arrays and as well as functions. In the previous there is a no concept. So first let's run this program. So first it will ask. So it will display three options. One is add, display all student, find student by ID or exit. So first I need to insert some records. I will choose one. So enter student name. Ravi, student ID 225 and student contact, let's suppose. So it will show student added successfully. Now again, it will ask if you want to add, you can choose either of this below one options. So for time being, I'm going to add one more record. So I will choose one, and this time I will give name as Kumar, and the student ID is 101. And the contact number 9988667755. So student added successfully. Now I want to see. So for I want to see all the student details which are presented in the inside array. So I will choose option 2. So it will give all the student records which are presented inside the array. So for time being, we have only two records. So ID with 225 and 101. So name. So Ravi contact number and Kumar and his corresponding contact number. So then no, I want to find the student records by ID, specific ID. So for this, I need to choose option 3. Let's suppose I will choose option 3. Then it will ask enter student ID to find. So I will enter student ID 101. Then it will give the only records with ID. ID the matches with the 101. So 101 is corresponding name under contact details. So then finally I'm going to exit. So if you choose the fourth options, if you hit, so there is you cannot able to give any input to the console because we exited from this console applications. So let's see the working flow of this application. So as always, it will start from the main method. So first it will start from this option. So first here the while will check. So we are manually giving the true. So it will, yeah, this condition is true. Then this inside of the while block will execute. This portion will display. Then I am asking user, hey user, choose one of the above options in order to interact with the student. So then the user might enter some options. So based on the choice the user selected, we are matching the choice with the different case labels. So if the user entered 1, so then I am calling this function. For example, if a user choose first option, then I am matching with the case 1. If the match is successful, then I am calling corresponding case label function. So I'm calling add student function. So this add function, so it will go through this. The flow of the program will come here, and here it will execute. It will check. So here first student count less than max student. So here I manually defined some requirements. So I given the size of the array is only 10. So this is a constant. So final. So actually in Java, final is a keyword. It is used to make variables, methods, and classes constants. So if you define a final keyword with an variable, so that means we cannot change that variable during the execution of the program. It remains constant. So as well as we can apply this final keyword to method also. If you apply method, we cannot override that method. So uh, we can also use final keyword to the class also. So if you apply final keyword to the class, we cannot inherit that particular class. We will see that example once we dive into the OOPS concept. Then finally, I have defined three arrays. So the first array is student name. So this entire array will store string representations. And the second one is student IDs. The third one is contact number. So here I am giving the size for every array constant. Here the max student ID. So this constant value I am giving to the array. That means this array will hold only 10 values. So then I have created one more variable, that is the student count. So every time when a user inserted one record to this array, so I need to track how many records are currently inserted. So in order to do that, I defined one student count. So initially I initialized it as a 0. So here the add student, here it will check the condition. So student count less than max student. So obviously the initial value of a student count is 0. So 0 less than max student. So 10. Obviously it is condition satisfied. Then it will go inside of the if black. So here it will ask some details from the user. So after that, we are storing corresponding details into the relevant array. So here in the student names, in the student name array, I am storing student name array in the position 0. So initially the student count value is 0. So that means always in array index positions will start with 0. So in student name 0th position, I am storing the name. So this name I am storing. So similarly, student ID, in the student ID 0th position, I am storing the ID. So in the student contact, I am storing the student contacts details. So then after array details has been inserted, I am incrementing the student count from 0 to 1. So this unary increment, as we already discussed. So we are incrementing the student count. Then I'm displaying some message to the console in order to get whether the record is inserted or not. So if this condition is not satisfied, then obviously this else block will display. This is the add student. Next to if the user chooses the second option, then obviously this display all student function will call. So here, this is the logic for displaying all student. So here I'm checking. So if the student count is 0, initially student count is 0, then there is nothing. There is no record presented inside the array. So if the student count is not is equal to 0, then I am looping through the array. I'm looping through the array. So I am setting int ig, so student count. And here I am printing the student records. So this is the display student, and finally find student by ID. So find student ID. So obviously the user has to enter some ID, student ID. So let's suppose this is the function find student by ID. So initially I'm checking the condition. If the student count is 0, that means there is no students presented inside the array. So if this condition is not satisfied, then the user has to enter one ID. So then I am looping through that ID, looping through that array. So inside I need to check every ID of the every ID of this corresponding student details. So here I am looping through that over the array, and here I'm checking if the student ID is equal to ID to find this ID. If the match is found, then I am displaying the corresponding ID, name, and contact details. So if none of this didn't work, then obviously it will return some message. Student with the ID today not found. So if you chooses fourth option, we are exiting the system. So then means whenever we exit, this while loop will won't work again. So let's suppose one Mahesh student ID as 33, contact number the student ID. Now I'm going to choose third option. So I need to enter the student ID. So student ID here I mentioned 33. So I'm giving wrong ID 43. So it is displaying. So student ID. Student with ID 43 is not presented. So finally I am exiting the system. So it is displaying exiting the program. Goodbye. So this is the flow of the applications. So for this console based applications, we can apply more features in the upcoming session. So let's do one program. For example, so let's suppose I have a one number. Let's suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my requirement is I need to reverse this number. I need to reverse this number. So the output should be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is the input. Input number and output. Output. So I need to display the reverse number. So can anyone do that? Guys,
Yes, sir.
can anyone do? Otherwise, I can do. Then I will give one more example. I mean, one more example to you. You need to work out on that. So I will solve this problem. Then I will give one more example to you. So in order to get this output, we need to loop throughout this number. So that means first I need to extract this number. First I need to extract that number from this number, input number. So then I need to add this number to one temporary variable.
Anirban, please switch up your mic.
Oh, yes. Someone is Anirban?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay. So then I need to store this digit in a one temporary variable. So temporary variable like this. We need to extract each and every character, and we need to add temporary variables. For example, how to extract from these last digits? We need to extract last digits. How to extract? So we can extract last digits by dividing by 10. So let's suppose 10. So if we perform this operation, you will get a result as a 5, because this modulo operator will always give the remainder, not a quotient. It always give the remainder. So that means, so 10 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. So if you multiply,
Sir, can I show my screen?
can you? Yeah, if you want to share the screen, you can share. You want to share the screen?
Can I show my screen?
Yes, you can share.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, share your screen.
Yes. Yes, sir. This one.
Yeah, okay, correct. So guys, this is the logic, how to reverse the numbers. So we can do the same operations by using string methods also. We'll discuss that later. Yeah, now you can close the screen. Guys, this session is recorded. So you will get in the YouTube. So guys, this is the output. So I will give this code. So your task is you need to implement function for this logic. So like you need to pass input to input, and you need to, based on the input, you need to write logic. So let's talk with the string. So actually, string is a group of characters, or it is a class in Java. So it provide a lot of methods in order to deal with the string. So the one of the main important thing about the string is in Java, string is immutable. So that means once you created string, once you initialize it, you cannot modify that string. So let's suppose, so you can, let's suppose string s1 is equal to s is equal to Java. So I need to add. So let's suppose I need to add uh, Java features. Like so I need to add a features to this Java. So s dot. So there is a no method to add any string to the existing string. So you can see this index last string the get. So you cannot. If you want to add, you can do it by manually by using the concatenation. So feature. So Java features. But if you print the this S again, this Java only print because it is not change. We are just printing this, we are adding, but it is not allow, string doesn't allow to manipulate, modify the existing string. Yes. See this print. So that means we cannot change the string. That means we cannot add. That is the immutable. So we can do this. So if you want to do like this, you can define one more string s2 is equal to s plus features. Then you can remove this one. You can directly print s2. Now, so whenever you create a immutable string, yeah, it will store in the string constant pool. So that means it is referred to this object, and this new variable will refers to the new object. So string we cannot modify the existing, we cannot add. So that is the immutable. So you can define a string in a different ways. So one way is by using the literal. So this is the literal way. So we can directly pass a string. So the one more is we can create object by using the new keyword. Create str is equal to new string. Inside of parenthesis, you need to pass your string. Let's suppose mm, strings demo str. See, So this is the one way by using the literal, or you can create object for a specific string also. So there is a one more way to create. That means you can directly pass array of characters to this string constructor. Then the string will automatically convert to character to the string. So let's suppose I have a character array. So char. So here I am directly assigning the character values. Let's suppose. So I have defined one character array. So you can pass this character to this string constructor. So like this string char string is equal to new string. If you hit this, so you will find this option. See string. So it is an empty constructor. So you can pass argument with the different types. So you can pass byte argument, byte array, and a character array. You can pass directly string. So for example, I'm going to pass this character array. String, I need to pass just name of the array. Now, if you try to print this, it will give also result. So this is the different ways you can create object. You can create a string. One way is by using the character array. That means we can pass array name as a argument to this string constructor, and you can define literal way, and you can create with a new operator. That means you can create object. So let's see some of the methods. So string provides some of the methods in order to interact with the string. For example, so how do you access methods? By using the dot operator. So it will give all the methods which are related to the string. So you can find a lot of methods: character at code point, concatenate, compare to, contains ignore, and index of, is certain, is blank, is empty. So these are the methods. Let's see some of the important. So always we need to find the length of the string. So s dot length, it will give the length of the parent string. So how the indexes start, so from 0 in arrays. In the same way, strings always start with the 0. So size is 4. Yes, that if you want to find a specific character, so I want to extract character A. So you need to hit character A, and you need to give the here position. So in a string, the position always start from the 0, and you need to give the position. I'm going to give the position as 1, and it will give the result. That means A. So then yes, dot. So if you want to find the index, that means if here we are giving the manual. Now I want to find the index position of V. So here I need to find the integer index value of this V. So for this there is one method, that is index of. So index of. See, int string, it accepts integer argument. So it returns the index within the string of the first occurrence. So first occurrence. So let's suppose I want to find the index. So 3. Index of SOG. So I'm finding the index of V character. So that means the index of J is equal to 0, A is equal to 1, V is equal to 2. So this is the useful of index of. You can give the character and you can find the index. So you can directly pass the string also. Let's suppose s dot. So here you can see int string. So you need to pass the string J. So it will give the first occurrence. So J. So here the first occurrence. So let's remove this A and give A only. So it will give the index of A. So that means first occurrence. In Java, there are two A's in the position of 1, in the position of 3. But it will give the position of 1 only because first occurrence. So see, it give the 1 only. So if you want to find the last occurrence, just not out dot print s dot last index. So here, this last index, it will give the last occurrence of the current to string character. So let's suppose give you one string, A, uh, last index. Oh, no, it won't work like this. So 3. So that means this last index, it will give the result. So in the same way, so if you want to convert to uppercase, in the same way, you can use lowercase to lowercase and system dot out s dot. So I need to check whether this particular string contain A or not. So if it is contain, it will return Boolean value. That means if the current string contain, it will true. Otherwise, it will return false. So for that, in order to check whether the particular character contains, the string method is contain. So here you need to give the contains. For example, I'm going to give the character J, let's suppose. So it is giving the true because this J presented inside this string S. So this comments, it is converting uppercase and lowercase. See, the entire string has been converted into uppercase and converted to lowercase. So there is a one more method. S dot ఇది కాదు ఇంకోటి equals whether two strings are equal or not. So it will compare this string to specified object. So if it is equal, it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. I'm giving Java. So Java. So if we run this, it will give false because we are checking this. We are comparing both string are equal or not. because the first character is capital letter and here we mention the small letter because it is returning false. So if you omit case sensitives, if you omit uppercase and lowercase, you can ignore that by using one of the string method s dot equals ignore. So this equals ignore case string method, it is used to ignore the capital or small letters. So that means it will perform whether the content is presented or not. Doesn't matter that content is that let the string content capital or small letter. So the given string should have to match. So Java. So true. So because we are ignoring the case. Start next to concat, obviously we can concat. So let's suppose we can concat like features. Features, but we are concatenated. But if you try to print the default s, it will print this Java only. See, so for time being, we are adding temporary. That is, we are not to changing entirely. And yes, dot. Let's suppose, yeah, start with. Start with. So we can give the start with. That means whether the given string starting with this letter or not. If it is started, then it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. So start with, I am giving, for example, capital J. So it is returning true because this class, this variable start with the capital J. But if you provide a small j, then it will give false. So this is the start with. It similar to the start with, there is a one more method that is ends with. S dot ends with. So this method is used to whether the particular given string is ending with the specified character or not. So I'm going to check whether this string is ending with A or not. So you need to give the character A, string A, you need to check. So it is true, it is returning true. That means it is ending with the A. So, so these are the some major methods. Let's go through the remaining methods and let's play with some methods by yourself. So let's do one example with the string. So palindrome. So obviously this question palindrome, this questions has been asked in several interview questions and several coding questions also. So palindrome. So palindrome is nothing but the string. So if you reverse that, if you reverse the given string, that reversed string should match with the given string. Like let's suppose I have a string madam. So if you reverse this string, it will give the same. So if you compare, both are equal. So that means this the given string is a palindrome. Check palindrome. So obviously, I need to take one input from the user. So let's copy. Enter a string to check palindrome or not. String initial text is equal to scan dot next. So how to check whether the string is a palindrome or not? So we need to loop through this entire string. We need to extract. Okay, we need to extract the characters, each and every characters from the given string, and we need to store in the one temporary string, like how this reverse number work. String palindrome string. So instead I'm setting as a null. So string characters are type okay. So here I need to loop through this initial text for int I is equal to, here I need to extract the characters. I need to extract the characters from the last, not the initial. So for that here I need to start with the last. Initial text dot length. It gives the length, and if I greater than or is equal to 0 and I minus. Then I need to add one by character to this palindrome. Palindrome string is equal to same palindrome string plus initial text dot character at unity position, give the position here. So out of exception, yeah, okay. Yeah, you need to give. And the initial text is equal to Yes. Yeah, okay, guys. So here we're looping through this given text from the at the end of the given string. So the initial value is always from, yeah, if the string is madam, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it starts from the 4. Always it gives the 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. And as a condition is satisfied, here we are adding character by character to this method, to this empty string. So initially we provided space. So here the space is, it calculates a string. So that's why it is giving a result as a not a palindrome. So you need to remove. So there is a one method in string. You can check whether the given string variable is say empty or not. So palindrome dot is empty. So it gives the Boolean value. So it return true if and only if the length is 0. So it will give true. Yeah, it gives the true because the string is empty. So, but if you give the space, it will treat as a string. So in that case, it will give the result as a false. So let's suppose false. So you can check whether the string is a it is a blank space. So this is called a blank space. You can also check that. This is not dot palindrome dot is black. So whether the string blank. So blank means whether it contains space, at least one space or not. So return true if the string empty or contain only white space. So this is the white space. So currently our palindrome string variable contain one white space. So it always gives the true. See, it is give the true. So you can check whether the given string is empty or blank. That is the difference. So that's why it is previously it gave a result as a not a palindrome. So now you can obviously check whether let's give one more Java. So it is a not palindrome. So let's suppose this is the simple. So let's suppose I have a one sentence. Let's take this sentence. Given string. So given string is palindrome. So let's suppose this is my sentence. So here I need to find how many words presented and how many space are there, and I need to find consonant as well as vowels also for this given string. So let's do this. Let's take a new file. Check. Check words space. So obviously let's take a little string main. So string text. Control V. First of all, we need to find how many words and how many spaces are presented. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you see, there are, here is you can find one logic. So first count the words 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you find the number of words of a given string, so extract one from the given string. So that means here our total words are 4. So just extract -1, then obviously there would be 3 spaces. Walk it to 3. So or else you can do one more thing also. So if you find space, for example, 3 spaces. If the space is 3, then you need to plus 1 add. So if you plus 1 add, that means total 4 words are there. So let's count to which one is better. Yeah, space. So first let's count the space. I need to count the space. In Java, we can count space in 2 ways. One is by using the ASCII value. Space ASCII value is equal to 32, or else you can directly mention a space like this way, character space. So you can use either of this one. Always it will give the same results. Let's do it to both. So always I need to count the store. So I need to store space in some variable. So that is int space. So if there is a no space, obviously the default is 0. And also I need to word count equal to 0. So how to do this? So I need to loop through this entire given string. So for int I is equal to 0, I less than text dot length. I less than text dot length. It always gives the length. I'm incrementing 1 by 1 character. Here I need to check. So I need to compare each and every character whether the given character is equal to space or not. So if text dot character at to first position is equal to minus. So if the character 1 is equal to the space, then I need to increment the space. How to do that? Space plus plus. So I incremented space. So obviously now we have a space. Then you can easily find the number of words by using word count is equal to space plus 1. Sum number of spaces number of words plus word count. Now see, so number of spaces are 3. So here is one space, and here is a another space. Total 3 spaces. Then we are adding plus 1. So total it gives the total words 4. So in the same manner, you can use, instead of this, you can use ASCII value. If text dot character at into is equal to 32. Space plus plus. So it will also give the same result. So this is the ASCII value, and this is the normal character space. Now I need to find the vowels and consonants. So for that, I'm going to, so I will pass this text as a argument to one method. So public static void consonant vowel check vowel count. So it accept argument string input. So in order to count the number of vowels and consonant, we need to define two variables in order to store number of consonants and vowels. So vowels is equal to 0, consonant is equal to 0. Next, now I need to loop through. For int I is equal to 0, I less than to dot length I plus plus. So we already know how to get the vowels. If input dot character at 1 is equal to a. So in the same manner, control copy. AE I O U. I find capital letter also. A. So if one of the given character matches this condition, then I need to increment vowel. So vowels plus plus. The second case is consonants. So if none of these matches didn't satisfy this none of this condition, then I need to check the consonant. How to do that? So if we need to compare each and every character. Let's suppose check one more condition. Let's see if here I need to pass condition like input dot character at I. So this character should be greater than small a, greater than or is equal to small a, and input dot character on I here less than or is equal to z. We are checking the small lowercase as well as we need to check the uppercase also. Input dot character at I is greater than or is equal to capital A, and input dot character at index I less than or is equal to capital Z. So here we're checking the both lowercase and as well as uppercase. That means if the given character, so for example, let's consider the string contain numbers also. So we need to omit that. So that's why we're checking this condition. So each and every character so should satisfy this condition. So greater than A or less than small R. So if this match found, we need to consonant plus plus. So number of vowels. Number of consonants. So it is given. But we defined this method, but we didn't call this method anywhere inside the main method. So we need to call that method also. I need to call from here. Constant to wall check. I need to pass text. So number of spaces 3, number of words. Number of words 4 and number of words. I, E, 2, I, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the remaining are the consonants. Guys, got it? Hello, guys, did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So as we already know, string is a immutable. That means we cannot change. But what if in some situations we need to modify, we need to interact, and we need to change the given string. So in those cases, Java has provided 2 more classes which are similar to the string, that is called string builder, string buffer. So these 2 classes are mutable classes. That means we can change once the string initialized. The difference between a string buffer and a string builder is the string buffer is a thread safe, but this is not thread safe. So that is the difference between string builder and a string buffer. So class string buffer builder. So like how we created strings in different ways. String buffer. So it is a class, it came from the java.lang package. So see, it is a thread safe and it is a mutable sequence of character. String buffer, and you need to give them string new string buffer. Obviously, you can create a string buffer in by empty constructor, or you can pass the character sequence, and you can pass the data string, and you can pass the capacity also. String buffer. So for time being, let's suppose empty constructor. So it is the string buffer will provide the symbol methods like how the string class provided. So string dot it provide similar methods character to so code point to compare equals to has index of is empty or not. It provided some additional methods like append or insert. So append. So this up. So this append method is used to add character array, arrow, integer, long, string. So you can append specific string at the end of the given string. So append, let's suppose Java. So if you execute, so it will give the Java. So if you try to print string, so it's giving the Java because it is a immutable. Sorry, it is a mutable. So we are appending the Java to this. So we can modify the string also. That is the difference between the string and the string buffer. Or the same way you can find string. So insert. So this insert method it is similar to the append, but the major difference is append method is so appending, adding the string at the end of the given string. The insert is you can insert in a specific position. So insert. So here the offset. You need to give the offset. So let's suppose one of the I want to insert here the first character. You need to give the offset character in the first character. I need to give string as so Java. Now see. So I am inserting in the position number 1. So that is the difference between insert and append. String dot there are similar methods. Yeah, one more method reverse. So here string demo parent room. Here we are manually created logic, but string profile provided one method that is a reverse. It will reverse the given string. Reverse. So now it reverse the string. So whenever you adding anything to the existing string, it automatically affect to the existing string. So we are here we are modifying the existing string. So let's suppose take a string buffer s2 is equal to string buffer mad. Yes, to see it changed. So now you mm, can check system.out.println s2 dot equals, and you can hear mad equals, and okay. False equals mad. Okay. Indeed, whether someone. What is false? So set to update. So delete. So this delete method is used to delete a specified character. So let's suppose I want to delete in the range. You can delete from the range also, like from the starting. Yes, two, madam. So from two, from three. So from the 0, 1, 2. So this is the 2. So this is inclusive. This is exclusive. So this was starting index is inclusive, and the last index is end index is exclusive. That means this index is not treated. So that's why it will delete on this position number 2. So if you specify 4, then it will delete DA and it will give map. See. So that's the delete. So in the same manner, string buffer, uh, string builder. String builder. Yes, builder equal to new string builder. So it is a similar to the string buffer and string. We can create to empty constructor. We can pass. So let's suppose string builder. I'm passing directly as a string. So Java. Router println. Yes, builder. So Java. So it is also provided similar methods. So character to 4 points equals index of it provide say similar methods. That is so the major difference is it is the thread safe and this string builder is not a thread safe. So this string buffer will mainly used in the threading concept, multi-threading. So but this string builder so it is not a thread safe. So we can use if you want to manipulate, if you want to change string. So in those cases, you can use a string builder. So let's dive into the new topic. Managing errors and exceptions. So if you want to become a good developer, then you need to a good or you need to a master in how managing errors and exceptions in programming languages. So actually, a mistake might lead to an error or a crash in a program to produce unexpected result. So even a small mistake can lead to produce unexpected results. So if it is goes wrong, then it is a very become to debug. It is a very become to find errors. So that's why we need to be a master how to handle the errors also. So here errors are the wrongs. So that can make a program go wrong. Obviously, so an error may produce an incorrect output, obviously. So if you change even a single changes, it can produce incorrect output and may terminate the execution of the program abruptly or even may cause the system to crash. So basically there are two types of errors in Java. One is compile time errors and the second one is runtime errors. So compile time errors are nothing but the syntax errors. Like see, all the syntax errors will be detected and displayed by the Java compiler and therefore these errors are known as a compile time error. Example, so let's consider system.out.println. Here we forget to mention the semicolon. So this is the syntax compile time error and the syntax error. So now it will the compiler will warn before the execution. Error exists in the required project. So if you proceed, it will give it is a compiler level. It is syntax level error. So if the compiler found this kind of error, so then this code won't generate a class file. That is intermediate class file. So compile time error and runtime error. So compile time error is nothing but this. So syntax error. So some of the most what are the compile time errors are missing semicolons and missing or mismatch of brackets in a class or methods. So let's suppose here are given the curly braces, but here if you are closing open parenthesis, closing parenthesis, then it is any compile time error. So we need to handle properly. So then misspelling of the identifiers and the keywords. So if you try to misspell of the keywords, inbuilt keywords or identifiers, here are so string buffer. So you are giving the string, but you are trying to add so est. You forget to mention r, then it is a compile-time error. Then missing double quotes in a string. Use. So instead of this one, if for assigning values, if you use this one, then it will give a compile time error. So and so on. There are a number of cases. So these are the majorly compile time errors, syntax errors. Then the another one is the runtime errors. So even though your So score is correct. You didn't forget anything. So you written your code correctly without any errors, without any mistakes. But in some situations, it will give a wrong result. So sometimes a program may compile successfully and create the class file, but may not run properly. So such programs may produce a wrong result or due to wrong logic, or may terminate due to errors. So due to errors or wrong logics, we will get a wrong result. So such as some this runtime errors are static overflow. So this is called runtime errors. So below are the most of the runtime errors. So dividing by zero. So we cannot divide any integer by zero. So that is the error. So that if we do that, it will give a wrong result. And accessing an element that is out of the bound. So you are giving, so here you are giving size as say 10. But if you try to access 11th position, so obviously it is out of bound indexion, array out of bound indexion. Next, then trying to store a value into a array of incompatible class or type. So here you define a string, but if you try to insert to another kind of data type, then it will read. Then trying to cast an instance of a class to one of its subclass. So casting, so that means changing from one data type to another. So it became, for example, floating point values. So floating point values, so 3.14 something. So if you try to convert into integer, it will give the result 3. So it is not giving the precise result. Then accessing characters that is out of the bound string. So obviously it is similar to the array and many more. So these are the two types of errors: compile time errors, runtime errors, and exception. So basically, a exception is a condition. So that is caused by a runtime error. So how the runtime errors will come based on the conditions. Conditions. So this is a exception in a program. So when the Java interpreter encounter an error such as dividing by an integer by 0, it will create an exception object and throw it. So obviously whenever it find a division by 0, it always find this is the not, it will give the, and it will find the exception and it will throw. So if you want to handle proper exceptions, errors, you need to follow these steps. One is you need to find the problems where our exception might happen. So that is the hit exception, hit the exception, and we need to inform that error has occurred. So we need to inform, yeah, here the exception might occur. We need to inform. Then we need to receive the error information. So we need to, once you find it, once you found, yeah, in this place, this exception will happen. We need to find out, we need to receive that exception, and you need to handle that to exception correctly. So in Java, we can handle exceptions by using the try, catch. Try and catch, these are the keywords. It is used to handle the runtime exceptions. So inside try block, you need to write statements. So the inside of the try block, there are more than one statements. So that statement might cause exception handling. So then obviously, if inside of the try block, if any exception happen, then obviously it will throw the catch. The catch block will catch that error, and you need to handle inside the catch. You need to handle the proper exception for the error. So here you need to hear the exception type. So in Java, there are different types of exceptions. Arithmetic exception, and array index, out of index, or out of index, so out of array, out of array, or out of index, something like that. And null pointer exception, and input handle, input related exceptions, input related exceptions. So there are a lot of exceptions Java provides inbuilt. So let's suppose see one example error demo. So let's suppose system.out.println. So I am printing the value. So I'm dividing one integer by 0. So see, there is no error. But if you run this, it is giving some exceptions. So this is the system generated exceptions. But in some cases, you want to handle your own custom type of exceptions. So it can handle that. So we need to handle. So inside try block, we need to put. So int result is equal to 10 divided by 0. System.out.println result. Here you need to write catch. Here you need to mention exception type. So it is a basically related to the arithmetic exceptions calculation. So arithmetic exception E and system.out. Here you need to write. So division by 0 is not possible. Something like message. Now see, we are seeing the proper error message. So this is the where how to handle the exception. Let's suppose one more see example. Let's see null
The
pointer.
exception can handle the compiler error.
Sorry, can
Exception
you?
can handle the compiler error.
Yes, obviously. So let's
Okay,
suppose
sir.
string. Let's take a one string. String S1. So I'm giving null. So it is a null. Before let's come this one. First try to string S is equal to null. Standard out of S. So null. So it is a null pointer exceptions. So we need to handle. We define null. So let's suppose let's find the length of the null value. So length. We run this. So see string length because S is null. So it is telling. So S is a null. So we need to it is a null. So we cannot find the length of the given string. So we need to handle null type exception also. Here, if we don't dot length, this one dot length. So instead of arithmetic, you can give null pointer exception. Null pointer exception. So string should be initialized. So you can get the message also. So e dot get message. It give the message, proper message also. Now see. So string should be initialized, and so cannot invoke string length because S1 is a null. So is the way how to handle runtime exception. One of the important is array out of bound indection exception. So let's suppose copy this, comment this one. Let's suppose I have a one array, integer type array. So here I am assigning 1, 8 something values. Okay. So here I need to find array in the index of 7. So here I am printing the array value. So in the position of 7, but here we don't have a position. We don't have a position 7. The length is 4. See, index 7 out of bound. So the length is 4, but we are accessing out of the bound. So you can handle this. Paste this one into array. Array.9. So I need to write a proper message that is, let's suppose error index out of bounds. So what type of exception it is? Index array out of bound. Array index out of bound exception. See, we are handling the proper array handling. So in the next sessions, we can implement some of the exception, how to handle exception in this student management system. Let's suppose, here we can handle the exception like input exceptions, whether the input is correct match or not. We can handle this. So we can do this in the next session. So if you have any queries, you can ask me.
Sir,
Yes. Yes.
hello.
Hold a
Sir,
second.
can you